Ladies and gentlemen, AI, I should say, I'm getting nervous, is impacting our world. And now, thanks to Ben Fowler, it's making its way into golf instruction. Ben, I'm fascinated. I'm interested, but more than anything, I'm excited you're on the show. How are you?
I'm doing great, Mark. Thank you so much for the opportunity to join you today.
Are you kidding me? I mean, every time I turn on my computer, I get one or other AI recommendation about something. And then I hear people saying, well, I just say this and this and that, and the thing spits out an entire proposal for me. And I'm like, wow, it's putting people out of business. Now the golf instructor inside is like, wow, is this putting me out of business too? Help me, please.
Absolutely. I believe that AI and PlayIQ can be a huge on ramp into PGA Golf professional instruction.
Hmm.
A little bit about me. I used to be a PGA Golf professional. I'm PGA reserved. I'm actually probably going to get back into the PGA of America. I worked for the PGA of America for a little bit more than 15 years.
All right.
And I think there's a huge opportunity for the golf professional to get new students who are interested in the game of golf, who are interested in instruction. Most golfers don't take golf lessons. And I believe this can be a mechanism to help golfers play better and also get them into PGA golf instruction.
So you kind of teased us. You called it Play IQ. Play IQ is your company. Tell me about the inspiration for this. Obviously, you're a PGA professional. I'll be honest with you. Many, many moons ago, I'm dating myself. I'm 50, about to be 54 now. In 2024. Someone came to me. I was teaching golf in like the 1990s, and he goes, "Here's what I see. We build a website, and on the website, you click here and you go, I slice the ball, and it's going to show you 5 videos that you make how to fix a slice." And we tried this. We called it Easy Golf, and it never lived to tell the tale. But yeah, we are. I mean, tell me the inspiration for yours now and how you brought this thing to life.
You were talking quite a bit about the proliferation of AI in today's society. And for me, actually, I had moved on from the PGA of America in 1997. I got a Master of Science in Data Science. And so then I went to work for a startup as a data scientist for a year, then went to work for an automotive company, a major automotive manufacturer. And then for the last now almost 3 years, I have been an AI and analytics manager for a major cruise line. This is something that is an area that's very close to me because I live and breathe AI and data science every single day.
And you're a golfer deep down.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so like, and so it actually kind of came to me on a chipping green. I was just like, I just was not making really good contact. And then I thought, I think I can probably do something with AI to help my chipping. So I actually thought, well, it would be great if I could just take a video and have a way where I can actually then have AI analyze the video. And it took a lot of work.
Sure.
It's now our team has put in a significant amount of effort to get to this point, but we now have something that I'm really excited about, and is helping golfers hit better drives, better iron shots. I just got a testimonial that I'm going to show a little bit about a golfer who had his best round of the year after using a Play IQ lesson. Like, this is really cool. And then actually, I showed this to a PGA director of player development at a club in Michigan, actually only a couple weeks ago. And he told me, he said, Ben, in my 30 years of playing golf, I've only seen three things that have significantly helped people play better golf. And those were metal woods, launch monitors, and force plates. And he said, I think you may have built the fourth. So we're now actually exploring a test with his students at his academy.
I hear
It's
him.
pretty
I'm
cool.
gonna, I'm gonna add to that utility hybrid clubs. I
Yeah.
had those back in the day.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Every golfer wants to get better. This is how my podcast was born. Um, I'm a kid from South Africa. I didn't have access to the teachers I would read about in magazines. I wanted to be better, so I hung on every Golf Digest article that came out. And then when we got VHS tapes back in the day, I used to watch those religiously. And I would take golf swings and break them down. And it was just fascinating. And now we have the internet and podcasting and everything, and people still want to get better. That's why this podcast has grown. Um, but here's the challenge. And I say this because we've got a global audience, right? And you can start sharing the screen while I'm telling my long-winded story. So if you can start sharing the screen there.
Yeah.
So here's the internet, this treasure trove of information. And we've got golfers that are salivating to play the game better. Everybody from the elite level to the beginner level. So what do? Yours truly included. We click on Instagram or we click on YouTube or whatever the case might be, and we go golf tips, and we get inundated with stuff. And then it's like, oh yes, that sounds sexy. This sounds sexy, blah. And then the next thing, you are trying everything, and a lot of it I always say is like taking another man's medicine, which is somewhat dangerous. Whereas with this Play IQ, correct me if I'm wrong, this kind of targets you as the individual, bears you in mind, and then gives you information wholly applicable to you, which to me is what's the fascinating part of it all.
100%. So on the screen here, we can talk a little bit about our trial at Golf Club of Indiana. What you just described is actually exactly what the general manager, Jeff Rubenstein at Golf Club of Indiana told me. He said, the thing that is to me so exciting about PlayIQ is there's media publications, print and broadcasts that provide golf instruction to golfers, and all of it is technically correct, but it may not be correct for you. Yeah. And that is I think the real great innovation of AI for golf instruction is that significant roadblock for many people of understanding, okay, this drill that I'm seeing on TV, I should not be doing this because this could actually make me worse. You won't get that with PlayIQ.
So true. I mean, just here the other day, and on Instagram of all places, people know the Tiger Woods thing where someone said to Tiger Woods, he goes, "What advice do you have for anyone?" And he goes, "Stop watching YouTube." Now I was like, "Yeah, nice, Tiger, you're right, but I've got a YouTube channel. Thank you, I appreciate you." Yeah. And then Darren Clark was on here recently. And this is maybe where I'm a mouthpiece for everyone because my approach is holistic. So I will give you this guy's information, that guy's information, and I will help educate you to make the appropriate decision. So I help to bring understanding to knowledge, right? And Darren Clark's like, yeah, these people are teaching people to shallow the club. He goes, I can't. I've tried, it doesn't work. So it was basically just him saying, look, it's not like square pegs into round holes. Not everyone can do this. That's why I love what you're doing. So why don't you kick us off with the presentation you gave? And for the audio listeners, I'm a bit nervous if you can hear it in my voice.
Sure. So
I'm going where angels fear to tread here. Okay. So, yeah. So why don't you take over for the audio listeners? You can watch us on YouTube, but we'll do our best to describe what the images are showing as well.
For sure. So this first slide here is 3 pictures, me in the center. We had a 10 on the range at Golf Club of Indiana and a little sign there talking about what is PlayIQ. And we offer a free AI golf lesson to golfers. We had 16 complimentary lessons that we provided to students. Each lesson was sent to the 2-time section teacher of the year, Tony Day, with contact information of all 16 lessons. So I talked about how I'm committed to supporting the PGA Golf Professional. Okay. This capability all of a sudden becomes a very significant way for a golf professional to increase their book of business.
Now, there's a QR code because I'm looking at this, and I'm sure the fans are too. Yeah. If on YouTube, I'm sure they're trying to take a picture of that code. Is that applicable for people watching this podcast right now?
So on the podcast right now, if you go directly to playiq.ai, that would be applicable. This QR code is dedicated for the Golf Club of Indiana. You're welcome to go ahead and take a lesson there, but it'll actually tie your lesson to Tony at Golf Club of Indiana. So I'd prefer you probably not do that. But it is an example of how we actually link the student to the golf facility. And that's very important because then once we know that person took a lesson with PlayIQ, then the director of instruction is getting that lesson and can follow up with that student. And so during the course of these lessons, 3 students actually vocalized they wanted follow instruction, and 1 person said that they wanted to get fit for clubs, and told me that. And in talking with Tony, he had actually not known any of those students were interested. He didn't know those people. He didn't know that they're interested in instruction. So this becomes a really nice way for him to start reaching out to them. And he now not only knows they're interested in golf instruction, he has 40 images, still images of their golf swing and the entire PlayIQ lesson sent to him before he even contacts them.
Okay. I'm listening to you like a fan. Now, the golfer who's wanting the golf lessons, like, yeah, I get you. How about the teachers that are watching this going, this is a way for me to contact Ben Fowler and the folks at Play IQ and set myself up as an instructor to give said lessons. Yes, is this a thing?
Uh, it's a very interesting, I hadn't really thought of it that way, but I think that's
Get
something
some calls.
as a possibility. Yeah, there's so many different Mark. There's so many different possibilities about Play IQ that I think like really you have to think outside the box. Like I was sitting on an airline flight recently, and I was really interested in how um, uh, immersed some people were with the seat back entertainment device on the airline. And I thought to myself, well, you've got someone who's sitting in a seat on an airplane for 2 hours or so. This is a perfect opportunity for PlayIQ for a golf lesson. You could actually have the app embedded in the seat back application, and they could actually then they have Wi-Fi on your cell phone now and on the airplane. So you could, if you have a video of your golf swing, a lot of people have videos of their golf swings on their phones. They could actually then just upload it right into the app. So like I think there's a lot of like outside the box ways that you can go with this.
Well, forgive me, I went down a rabbit hole there. Why didn't you bring us back on course?
Sure, no worries. So the results of the lesson were this. We had of those 16 people who took lessons, we had actually 4 people who took a follow-on survey, which actually I think is really great, and to get a 25% response rate. And the golfers liked it. I had 10 people say that they'd be extremely likely to recommend, 3 out of the 4 people said they gave me a 10 and 1 gave me a 9 on the likelihood to recommend. So they were very likely to recommend. They said the lessons were very high quality or high quality, and that they would be either a great deal or a lot motivated to take a golf lesson from a PGA golf professional if they use PlayIQ during their lesson, which was an interesting question too, I think.
Okay.
And then
I think people are sort of primed for this stuff now, given the proliferation of just technology
yes,
in the world and obviously in our sport. I mean, you don't typically go to a lesson nowadays if some guy doesn't bring out a launch monitor or one other measuring device. And so, yeah, I think people are more open to this sort of thing now than what maybe they would have been a few years ago.
exactly. And then so for your listeners, there was this question about what did you like about PlayIQ? The third response I love best, someone just put simple, and simple is good. So if this is helping people and it's simple, that's really what we're after. And then the last thing that I just wanted to highlight in this presentation was this testimonial. And this golfer said, I did some of the drills during my round, and I had a 9-shot improvement from my prior round after doing the lesson, which is awesome.
Yeah, that is incredible, because all of us go for lessons, and we've had these situations where you have a lesson, God forbid you've done something that's not advisable, or the lesson you got was poor. But a lot of the times, the lessons might be misunderstood or misapplied or misappropriated. But misunderstanding runs rampant. And to get someone to come back to you and go, did this 9-shot improvement, that is tremendous news.
For sure. There's many great PGA golf professionals in the US and around the world. But I would say the quality of golf lessons that are offered is varying. Not everybody is going to get Chuck Cook. Not everybody is going to get Craig Harmon. And sometimes the best teachers are actually lesser known teachers too. So that's not just because you're not a named teacher doesn't mean you're not as qualified. But I think there is a lot of variation. And I will say, even for myself, when I was a PGA golf professional, I always felt somewhat uncomfortable giving instruction. And I studied under some of the best instructors. I watched Chuck Cook teach. I saw Todd Anderson teach at the Breakers. I worked for Buddy Antonopoulos at Medalist Golf Club. So I've been around a lot of great teachers. And I always kind of struggled with a little bit, where do I go with the student? And I think where PlayIQ can really help elevate golf instruction too. Is it can allow the instructor to know, okay, I need to go right here with the student, and then that lesson time is, instead of trying to diagnose swing flaws, it can be more about understanding, is the student grasping what the drills that I'm trying to give them, and is it clicking?
That is so true. And to get back to the graphic you shared about the response to the lessons, and one descriptor was simple. Um, I feel like, again, whereas technology has been super helpful, I feel like sometimes people in lessons can get lost in the weeds some if they're gazing at all of the. Now, look, you make an adjustment as a function of all the information, but for the student, they don't have to know all the information to go and take something home and work on it. So with this, the streamlined information to say, look, here's your tip of your spear, go focus on this. That's going to be inordinately helpful as well.
Exactly. And so I think simple is really important. So a little bit about how PlayIQ works, and in a little bit I can show and give a little bit of a demonstration of what actually the lessons look like.
Oh,
But before I even get to that point, I think it's just good, like at a high level, what is an AI golf lesson? What does this mean? Like, how does it actually operate?
mhm.
And so essentially, the golfer is asked a few questions about their golf swing, such as their average score, their age, their predominant shot type, the shot that they're actually analyzing. Is it a driver, an iron, a putt, a chip, or a bunker shot? And then there's a prompt about how many videos do they want to analyze. So actually, another really exciting breakthrough for PlayIQ is we now actually allow the AI to analyze not one video, but two videos simultaneously. So
Okay.
you can have like a down the line angle and a face on angle, and send both of those videos to the AI, which I'll show in a little bit. And then the output is really some instant feedback and drills tailored exactly to each golfer's unique swing characteristics, which I think is the big innovation. And then we actually then take those drills and then search YouTube to find the specific drills that are recommended by the AI. So getting back to your YouTube comment, that is where YouTube is helpful, is then if you can have the AI identify, these are the drills you should use, then search for those drills, and we surface those in PlayIQ.
So for teachers listening, you better up your ante with getting some content out there, because the AI is searching all of the internet all the time for certain keywords and such, and then assimilating, organizing that information and transferring it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
Jeez. Okay, cool. That is, you know what, that is in itself, I think, is so cool because, like I say, here I am, Mark, golfer, sucked today. I get home, I've had my few beers, wines, whatever the case might be. Now depression's setting in, and I'm like, I hate this game. But then I'm like, I want to get better tomorrow. So I search for a podcast, and they get the On the Mark show. But then they're like 600 something episodes. Oh gosh, where do I go? Or then they start on Instagram or whatever, and they're like, oh, that seems good. But yeah, instead of like scrolling and scrolling, and then you settle on someone who's in your algorithm anyway, you might be missing on that bright mind who you don't know who's got the information for you. But now this thing's finding that all for you, and there's no time wasted.
I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, I think that's great.
Have I said it correctly?
You said it perfectly. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So
Well, this is not about me. This is just me getting excited about this.
yeah, it's to me like it's so like the two video capability. I actually did like on Instagram. I was just so excited. I'm like, you know what? So the day before I played, I had the worst round in 4 years for me. Like, I mean, for me, my average score is probably 76, 77. I shot 90 and I putted well. I mean, I made some 20 footers. It was just like
You got a bunch of
off
guys
the
going.
pan.
You got a bunch of guys and girls listening, going, "Hi, Ben. We know
Yeah.
exactly what you
Yeah.
feel like."
So, and I am being giving the God's honest truth. So I added it literally the following morning. I finished the capability of having two lessons analyzed by two videos analyzed by PlayIQ. So the downline and the face on angle. And what I got back from the lesson was specific information about my hip rotation, and that I had too much vertical hip sway getting off the ball in the back, not rotating properly enough on going on the back. And then as I'm going through more, just getting more belt rotation going through the ball at impact and having the belt face more, my belt buckle face more at the target at impact. And I played great that day. I shot 74 and it was like, holy cow. Like I literally could not hit the broadside of the barn the day before. And I got that lesson and I went on the range. I literally hit about 20 balls in the range before I went and played. I'm like, this feels good. Like I feel a lot more stable here. And there's a little pop in the fastball and it was good.
This to me brings up a talking point. And while I make that up, you can change the screen to the example
Yeah.
that you want. Um, you like, okay, I put the videos in the AI, it prescribed things for me to do. I went and did them. I felt the ball get better. I noticed the pop, it was flying better. So the feedback then is not someone telling you that you're doing it correctly. The feedback is how the golf ball's traveling and how you're feeling. So I guess what I'm getting to here is that there's a sense of ownership, perhaps too, because so many times people go for lessons, and I see this with young people where they hit one shot and they flash around, they look at the coach or the dad or the mom, they're like, am I doing it? And it grinds my gears because, if you are, the ball's going to tell you so, but no one's looking there. They're looking for the human response. But now this thing's saying, do this, go away, and
Yeah.
then you're going to figure it out for yourself. Well, you're going to figure it out
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so to me, like I think it's the whole field is really exciting. So this is actually what I'm showing now
Oh,
to your viewers who can see the screen
no,
is,
no, we're still looking at the
oh shucks, let me share the other screen.
we were actually looking for the viewers there. That was in the statement that was sent to Ben, where someone had taken one AI lesson and cut 9 strokes off their score.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so do you see some pictures of
Yeah.
still images of golf swings, hopefully here? So this is actually now the PlayIQ system. So
Right.
the start of the output of the lesson is essentially a comparison of your swing images for your current swing versus the last time that you uploaded a lesson for the same shot type. And in preparation for today's call, I actually just went ahead and put through 2 lessons here of 2 different swings of me. And so you can see here, this allows you to actually kind of compare different types of images at different positions of your swing relative to the last time for the same shot. And then as you come through down here, then this is the other angle. So like these videos, this is down the line, and you can see how does the club compare in these positions versus the other video.
Gotcha. Okay. Lovely.
And so then this is the lesson. So I'll kind of walk you and your viewers through what you're seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
So the first output is going to be essentially a critical factors table, which is going to have some key performance measures in your swing, talking a little bit about where is your swing relative to the ideal value.
Right.
And so like I also inputted in this lesson that my preferred shot shape is a draw. So that's why it's recommending an end out path.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and a confidence rating. So the confidence rating actually identifies how confident is the AI in the analysis that it made in the recommendation too, which is also, I think, kind of interesting as well.
That's out of 10 because I see 9, 8, 8, 8,
That's,
9 for these.
that's correct.
Right.
Yes. And then so then next is going to be analysis of essentially how the golf swing is performing. And actually, before I continue here, Mark, one other thing that I should tell you and your viewers is we've built in the system the capability to constrain the output of the AI. So what you're looking at is at a full detail lesson. And the full detail lesson gives a large amount of information. Frankly, probably more information than the average golfer should try to absorb in
I
one lesson.
was about to say, because for the audio folks, again, go check this out on YouTube. Just search for Mark Immelman. But it's saying detailed lesson analysis and recommendations. It gets address position, observations, significance, recommendations. Then it's got the backswing, observation, significance, recommend. So it's taking your entire golf swing saying, look, this is kind of the overall MRI of where you are right now, where all
100%. Yes,
but
exactly.
might not all be applicable, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So 100%. So I think that is something that I've thought about quite a bit. I can tell you previously, actually, it was in my mind to not even provide the full detail, but I know there are golfers out there who want the whole thing. They want the whole enchilada and they want to know all 8 or 10 different swing flaws that they may have, even though they might not be able to work on them all at once.
You're talking to those golfers right now on this podcast. We got millions around the globe, and the folks who download this thing are all in. So this is your audience. But for other folks, yeah, I think sort of the streamlined. Okay, this is not necessarily the whole thing, but this is all just you. What you got to work on. I feel like that is super applicable. You know.
For sure. Absolutely. So I'll just kind of scroll down here a little bit more. So like here is some observations on these 2 videos and downswing impact and follow through.
This is getting and this AI is getting that just folks from 2 video angles, front on, the caddy view, the side view, and the down the line view. And that brings up a question. You know, a lot of instructors, they'll be kind of militant about the fact that you didn't have the camera in the right place. And I'm like, really, if you know your stuff, you don't need the camera in the perfect place. But anyhow, it's helpful. You can just basically get front on down the line somehow, and it's picking you properly. Is that how it works?
And that is, and I will actually one up you on that. I have actually taken my cell phone, my iPhone, and thrown it in a basket of range balls because I didn't have a tripod with me. And I thought, I just want to see, like, can I do a PlayIQ lesson in the range? No tripod, no camera holder, literally just take my cell phone, just stand it up in a basket of range balls,
Mhm.
hit the record button, grab a club, go hit a shot, and then do that again on the other angle. And it worked actually really well. So it doesn't necessarily need to be all perfect and clean with like a tripod and a
You,
SLR camera.
you know what? Martin Luther is a hero of mine. Martin Luther King, naturally, but this is Martin Luther, the German version, because he took this. You know, people had taken the Bible and sort of corrupted it some. You know, impressions of it, where he's like, "It says this, that means it means this," and he writes about it, sticks it in a door in a church, and says, "There you are." He was called a pariah for it for a while. Then he started a movement. And you sort of saying to a bunch of people that are hung out some teaching shingle, you're like, yeah, there's a little bit more to it than what you guys might be making, or even a little bit less to it. This is the reality of the situation.
For sure. And then just like in closing, PlayIQ is then going to actually then for this lesson here actually provide literally a recommended daily practice routine schedule of time that should be allotted to the specific drills outputted from PlayIQ, and then also some information in comparison to the prior lessons. So here I actually uploaded 2 videos, so it actually has 2 lessons in here and has some observations relative to PlayIQ, which that's actually really important to me because I envision PlayIQ as being and growing into a continuous coaching feedback system
Yeah.
where a golfer is going to come in, upload a video into PlayIQ. That video is stored in the Microsoft Azure cloud. The images are stored there, and then the past lessons are stored as well. And so when that next time you take a next lesson, that information from the prior AI lesson and also the images are recalled and then passed in addition to the current video for the current lesson, and actually can provide a sense of progression over time. That's right now I have it just in the last lesson, but I think there's a lot more we can do with that.
Well, yeah. And for the teachers watching too, you know, I've kept for years, I've been teaching since 1996. And I've kept myriads of notes of the thousands of lessons I've given. And you know that started as a notebook, and it's ended now as a spreadsheet. But this is all getting gathered in one place, and it's kind of being transcribed for you. So it's saving teachers a whole bunch of time as well.
For sure. And so one of the teachers that I just talked to recently in Michigan, he actually gave me a good suggestion. He's like, it'd be great if I could actually have the capability to add some like additional notes about that student in there. And I said, I think that makes a lot of sense. So I said, consider it done. I'll build it out. So
Yeah, cool.
and then lastly, here are all the YouTube drills here. So you can actually then click on a drill and it will then actually go ahead and link to YouTube and then grab that drill. So all the drills that PlayIQ recommend, not only does it describe what the drill looks like and what is successful completion of that drill, it then also has the capability to then search on YouTube and then find that relevant drill for you.
Does it go only to YouTube or does it go all over the show?
So right now I've got it set up just for YouTube. I mean, I think where I would like to go with this is specifically for instructors. There's some instructors have their own collection of drills on YouTube, is to then constrain that. So I'm just working on their library instead of the broader library.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Wow, incredible stuff. Anything else to show on these diagrams
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I can show is like this works on all sorts of shots. This is like putts. So you can see here, here's like a face on angle and then an angle at the camera. And then like, again, you can get a whole set of output here. And in this case, like here's that critical factors table on the putt. And then you can see different types of observations. Again, this is at full detail here. So you can actually constrain that by requesting minimal, some, more, or full detail. There's 4 options for constraining how much output you're getting from the lesson.
And again, for our audio listeners, the recommendations, the analysis, the comparisons, the drills required, everything's laid out in a very organized fashion. It's not a bunch of words. It's got like Title 4, targeted areas for improvement and practice routine. It's got a few bullet points. So it's like, okay, this is what you're working on. So it's awfully, I mean, the information delivery is awfully simple as well. It makes it super easy to understand and then go and apply.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Incredible stuff. Quit the screen now. I'm sure the folks would like to see you a little bit more as we put a bit of a bow on this. I guess my follow-up to all of this is incredible. Like I say, when I set up this call with you, I was somewhat nervous. I was like, ordinarily I can get on these calls and go, okay, I know what I'm talking about. I'm a teacher and I can just talk with someone, but I'm like, shucks, AI and golf instruction. So now everyone's sitting here and I'm sitting here going, okay, this is cool. I want to sort of try it. So if I'm one of those, how do I go? What do I do? Please advise us.
Absolutely. So all you have to do is go to playiq.ai. There's a sign up button and anyone can actually get a free PlayIQ initial lesson. So actually I've set up the system. So for each user's first lesson, it's free.
Okay.
And so you can go ahead and try it out. You can upload 1 or 2 videos. You can do it on a driver or a putt. You can pick your shot type. You'll get the full lesson. You'll get an email of the lesson after it's completed. So it'll actually render, like I showed it on the screen. That's one spot, but it also is emailed to you as well, so that you've got it for your records. And then there's also a whole online dashboard capability, so you can actually go back and look at your prior lessons as well, and search from them by calendar period in a calendar.
And you go to that URL. There's not an app or anything that you can use yet.
Correct. Right. So right now it is completely mobile optimized. We don't have an online app. We may go that way. There's some benefits of not having an app just because you have to update it and things like that. So I think that's something I'm thinking about in the future. But right now it is fully mobile optimized. So you can use it on your iPhone, your tablet, or on your PC.
Okay. Here's just a personal question. And this, for the viewer listener, I'm sure they might be thinking this too, because my understanding of AI, and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong, AI is continually growing. So for the developer to stay ahead of it, it's like you are continually moving because this thing is scouring the internet all the time. So here's my question to you. You've come up with this fantastic idea. As far as I know, you're at the forefront of the business. I'm sure other people are going to be working on it too. Golly, man, do you ever stop for a minute? Because it's full time.
I think what I will promise you and your viewers is the lessons in PlayIQ and all other AI services around golf instruction are only going to get better. What you're getting right now, and I from my experience, I mean, I just knocked off 16 shots last month after I uploaded 2 new videos to it. It really helped me. So I think it's an incredible lesson as it is, but I actually think it's going to get even better.
And folks, go to playiq.ai. the first one's free, then it's a subscription service thereafter, or can you buy them individually?
You can do both. You can buy a single lesson for $19, and then we have subscription packages for $29, $39, and $49 a month.
Ben, my goodness, I tip my cap to you. I really do. This is incredible stuff. I mean, the foresight to think of this in the era in which we live is incredible. But then the gumption to go and do it, that you have my admiration. You truly do.
Thank you so much. Well, it's an honor to be speaking with you and your well-informed viewers, and I'm excited to hopefully help people play better golf.
Okay, I've got to ask. I'm gonna wrap with this. I oftentimes ask guests this question. It's if I really get fascinated, I have ideas. We talk instruction and holistic and performance and that sort of thing and improvement. But then once in a while, I'll say to people, okay, if you knew something for sure, like this was your dying day, you're like, okay, I'm going to the grave, but I'll tell you this for sure. What is that?
In regards, so just to clarify the question, in regards to around AI and
Well, it could be anything. As I asked you that question, my instant response to that would have been, look, AI is not coming, it's here. It's a part of our lifestyle right now. And you
yes,
get involved, you get left behind. Okay.
yeah, I 100%. Like I firmly believe that we are going into a time that is going to be more impacted by AI than many other inventions we've ever experienced. And I think it's going to change a lot of things, which change can be scary. But I'm hoping that if I can bring a lot more golfers to golf professionals, there's 45 million golfers in America, more around the world. Industry studies say 85% of golfers don't take lessons. So there is a massive pool of people who don't take formalized golf instruction. We know golf is difficult. Difficulty is one of the reasons why people quit the game of golf, and price is also part of it too. And I think PlayIQ can do multiple things. One, it can make golf instruction much more affordable. It can make golf instruction really great. It can help support the PGA Golf Professional, provide better golf lessons, and it can get golfers connected with PGA Golf Professionals easier too. So I think it could be a really great innovation to help really help people play better. Industry studies show the handicap index has not decreased, even though there's all these technological innovations in the game. People still are not playing better golf. And I think this could be a way that people actually could start bringing down their indexes.
Okay, I hope people have listened to the end of this. Here's one more. I will speak on behalf of a lot of the masses. You used the word scary and you kind of glossed over it. It's scary for a bunch of us, because you think of the sinister. But on the flip side of this, if it's used for good, golly, we could basically achieve anything.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I think there's so much. Yes, there's bad things that can happen from AI, but there's also amazing things that could happen from AI too. And this is a tool that frankly did not exist a couple of years ago. And it's a new invention. It's a new field, and that gives us capabilities to do things we've never done before.
Yeah. All right. The website is playiq.ai. What about social media? Where can they find you?
Yes, so we are on PlayIQ is on Instagram and on YouTube as well.
Fantastic. Ben Fowler, wonderful stuff. I'm so glad you would reach out and join us. My eyes have been open and I can't wait to get involved. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time, Mark.